Hi, David Schillen here. Just want you to know that by the removal of the name Jehovah out of the Bible by scholars working for Satan, Satan was able to get people to start worshiping Jesus. And it talks about that in the first chapter of Romans. Read that, the first chapter of Romans, where men were switched from worshiping God to worshiping creation rather than the Creator. It's in there. The Creator is Jehovah God, and people became worshipers of Jesus, His creation. The Bible calls Jesus the firstborn of creation. It means He's the first one ever created. And all things after that were created through Him and for Him. Through Him means that He was a master worker. God, who invented all things, used Jesus to make all things. Jesus is a maker, not a creator. He's not the designer. God is the designer. God said to Jesus, "Let us make man in our image." So God made us along with Jesus. Together they made us. They made us. Made is different than created. Create something. An inventor is the creator. Designer, the architect is always Jehovah, not Jesus. He's not the creator. He's a maker. There's a difference. He's a builder. There's an architect of a building, and the architect doesn't go out and buy hammers and stuff like that, and saws and trucks and dump trucks and stuff like that. He hires a construction company, which are makers. They're makers. Construction companies are makers. They're not creators. Some construction companies have architects working for them. So they are the architect and creator. But most construction companies are like Jesus, a maker. Jesus works for God. He's the master worker. Jesus said, "I came out as Jehovah's representative." But they took your name Jehovah out of the Bible at the command of Constantine, the first Roman emperor, Pope, an emperor who made himself Pope of the church that he created, called the Catholic Church. He created that church. Understand that. And he put the order out to end all the name Jehovah. He put the order out to take the word torture stake out of the Bible and replace it with cross. His God, the cross God, Tammuz. So he didn't worship God. He worshiped this false pagan god named Tammuz. And he wanted the name Jehovah taken out. And he wanted people to worship his God, the cross God. And that's what they did. They took Jehovah's name out. They put the word Lord in there instead of Jehovah. And as a result, people became worshipers of Jesus Christ. And they used the cross to represent Jesus Christ. And when he didn't die on the cross, he died on a stake. Well, those are the facts. Do you know the facts? Do you believe the facts? Do you believe Jehovah's God? The Jews worshiped the God named Jehovah. They didn't worship no God named Jesus. How did that change? The Bible says, "I am Jehovah and I have not changed." Nothing's changed here. Jehovah's still the creator. Also, all of a sudden, Jesus is the creator and not Jehovah? How'd that happen? That's a change. See, the Bible says, "I am Jehovah and I have not changed." What has changed is that the devil, Satan the devil, had Jehovah's name removed out of his own book, the Bible. Satan did that. Satan wants you to worship Jesus Christ rather than Jehovah God. Why? Because then you're not worshiping the source of life. Jehovah is the source of life, not Jesus. Jesus got his life from Jehovah. Jesus is living from Jehovah. Without Jehovah, Jesus would never have been born. He would never have existed. Jesus would not exist if not for the Creator, Jehovah God. Jesus was sent to the earth as God's representative. I came out as God's representative, Jehovah's representative. That's what Jesus said. Read the Bible. I came out. I was sent to the earth. Sent to the earth. When he was done with that, the Revelation has Jesus report to Jehovah God as a lamb, a lamb with blood on him and stuff like that. That's how he reported to Jehovah as a lamb that was slaughtered, and then Jesus was sitting at the right hand of God. He was not God. He was sitting at the right hand of God. God provided a throne for him. Then God created a kingdom, and he put his son Jesus Christ as the King of heaven, Lord of lords, King of kings. But Jehovah God alone is God of gods. There is no other. There is no Alpha and Omega except Jehovah God. But you take Jehovah out of the Bible and replace it with Lord, all of a sudden it looks like Jesus might be God. Who wants to confuse your worship? The Jews always worship Jehovah God. Why all of a sudden they're worshiping Jesus? That's a change. The Bible says, I have not changed. Jehovah did not change his name to Jesus. Understand that. Jesus is not Jehovah God. This is confusion. Who's confusing you? Satan. Why? Why? So you don't worship the source of life. You worship creation rather than the Creator. Because Jesus was created.